Oh, I didn't see you there. Hello, it's me, the Dame, and welcome to Story Time. Now, I will be doing storytelling throughout the month of June for Camden Pride 2020, so make sure you join me twice a week. Now, I have a host of stories for the Pride season, and I do hope that you will join me for all of them. Now, I wonder what the story is today. Shall we find out? Yes, well, today's story is a very special story about a little boy. And today's story with me, the Dame, here on Story Time, it is Perfectly Norman. And there he is. Now, shall we begin? Oh, of course I need my glasses. Jilly, have you seen my glasses? No? Terry? No? Oh, I know where they are. Here, next to me, honestly. Right. Are we sitting comfortably? Perfectly Norman. Norman had always been normal. Perfectly normal. Until one day. Guess what happened? He grew a pair of wings. And there they are. Can you see? Magnificent. Look at all those colours. It was red and yellow and green and brown and scarlet and black and ochre and peach and ruby and olive and violet and fawn and lilac and gold and chocolate and mauve and cream and crimson and silver and rose and azure and lemon and russet and grey and purple and white and pink and orange and blue. What a lot of colours in his wings. Norman had imagined that one day he might grow taller. He might grow a big grizzly beard like his daddy. Grr. But he never, ever, ever imagined that he would grow a pair of wings. Still, they were here now, so he decided to test them out right away. And guess what he did? Yes, he flew high into the sky. Soon Norman was swooping around and generally having the most fun ever. I mean, can you imagine having a pair of wings and flying everywhere, all around you, looking down on the world, flying high above the ground like a little bird? But then he had to go home for dinner. You see, Norman had always been so normal, he didn't know how his parents would feel about his extraordinary wings. He thought, what am I going to do? How am I going to hide these wings of mine? So, as Norman went in, he covered himself up in a great big coat. His parents, they didn't notice his wings, but they did think it was odd to be wearing a coat indoors. And sometimes, bath time was very problematic. Obviously, because he was wearing a big duffel coat in the bath. Can you see him? There he is, look, in the bath in his coat. And of course, so was bedtime. And the coat was really, really hot and uncomfortable. But Norman had decided that no one should ever, 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 underlined with a black Sharpie pen, ever see his wings. Ever. Full stop, ever. The next day, Norman went to the park, but he was far too hot to play any of his favourite games. He couldn't do anything. He felt so uncomfortable. There he was in his coat, wrapped around him, not being able to do anything. And so this went on and on and on. Long car journeys were unbearable. Let's all get in our cars. I'm going to drive our cars. Here we go. Drive your steering wheels. Now beep your horns. Beep, beep. And drive your steering wheels. And now beep your horn. Beep, beep. And when he went swimming, it was dreadful. How do we all swim? What do we do when we go swimming? We can do the doggy paddle, and the breaststroke. And that was nothing compared to his best friend's birthday party. He didn't feel comfortable to do anything, not even bounce on the bouncy castle. And he didn't really want to eat any of the jelly because it was really making him feel sad that he had to wear this coat so no one could ever see his wings. The only time that Norman could feel normal was when it rained, because obviously the coat protected him from the rain and everybody else was wearing their coats, so he didn't stand out or feel that he looked unusual. One day, a naughty boy tried to pull his coat off, and Norman had to run away. He was hot-faced, angry, and really sad. He wished he'd never even grown these stupid, stupid wings. Then, he saw some birds high up in the sky and remembered the joy of his first flight when he flew up high above the town. It suddenly occurred to Norman that it was the coat that was making him miserable and not his wings. There, can you see the birds flying above his head? When he got home, his mum and dad said, "Why don't you take that tatty old coat off?" Norman looked up at them, hesitantly. His parents smiled and nodded, and Norman smiled back. Then suddenly, he threw off his coat and let his wonderful wings fan out, and they were huge, and they were so many different colours. Can you remember what colours they were from before? They were red and yellow and green and brown and scarlet and black and ochre and peach and ruby and olive and violet and fawn and lilac and gold and silver and rose and azure and lemon and russet and grey and purple and white and pink and orange and blue. Should we try them all together? See if you can remember any of these colours. Here we go. Red, yellow, green, brown, scarlet, black, ochre, peach, ruby, olive, violet, fawn, lilac, gold, chocolate, mauve, cream, crimson, silver, rose, azure, lemon, russet, grey, purple, white, pink, orange and blue. Well done if you've got some of those colours. Norman leapt into the air. Finally, he was free of that coat. Everyone would give him a big old cheer. Yay for Norman, yay! Suddenly, he noticed a few other children wearing thick, heavy coats of their own. They looked up at Norman and round at each other nervously. There was a moment's pause and then, whoosh, 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 whoosh. The sky was filled with flying people. Norman had never felt so happy. And look, can you see them all flying through this, all with their own wings? And all those colours, can you remember? Red, yellow, green, brown, scarlet, black, ochre, peach, ruby, olive, violet, fawn, lilac, gold, chocolate, mauve, cream, crimson, silver, rose, azure, lemon, russet, grey, purple, white, pink, orange and blue. He realised there was no such thing as perfectly normal, but he was perfectly Norman, which was just as it should be. What a lovely story about a lovely little boy. And remember, we all have to be who we are. We all have to be true to our hearts and trust that everything will be okay and that we will be loved by everybody and that we will find love and be content and be happy with who we are. We are all unique and we all have something special to give the world. This reminds me of a really lovely song that some of your mummies or daddies and mummies and daddies and grandmas and granddads might know. It's a classic song And it goes like this. I am what I am. I am my own special creation. So, come take a look. Give me the hook or the ovation. It's my world that I want to have a little pride in. My world, and it's not a place I have to hide in. Life's not worth a damn till you can say, hey world, I am what I am. Thank you so much for joining me today on Storytime with me, the Dame. And I'll see you very soon. Take care, stay safe, lots of love.